Alright guys, day 37, part 1. So in this video I want to talk about something that I learned from watching a video yesterday, actually by Layla Hormozi, or Layla Hormozi. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name. I'm not very good at pronouncing names correctly. But something that I learned from her is what is the reasoning behind why side hustles aren't a good idea, and it's something that's been stuck in my head for a long time, and I've been trying to gain clarity over it. Convincing myself as to why I shouldn't pursue any given opportunity, especially the ones that are promoted by online gurus selling courses to you. My reasoning originally was that if they're selling you a course on it, that and they're running advertisements for that course, which means that potentially millions of people are seeing that advertisement as well, and at least 1% of those people are going to take action on the information that they're given in the course. That means that you're already competing with over 10,000 people, and that's a lot of competition for business. And so the more competition you have, the more difficult it is for you to succeed. At the same time, you don't want to have no competition, because that means you can't completely validate whether that market actually has the potential for growth or not if other people aren't pursuing it as well. So you sort of need to have a balance there in order to really succeed in a particular market or industry. But the point that Layla made was that people think that side hustles give you something. People discount things that are delayed, or it's something like that is what she said. Anyways, just to illustrate it through an example, if you had the option between getting $100 million in 10 years, but having nothing until the end of those 10 years, versus getting $2 million in the next 6 months, what would you choose? Most people would choose the $2 million in the next 6 months. The reason is simple, because it takes longer to make $100 million than it does to make $2 million. And so, that's the point that Layla makes. It's that if you're pursuing an opportunity that's going to take longer for you to realize, that's going to take longer for you to financially succeed in, and you're going to be broke for most of it, right? Most people stay away from opportunities like that because it just takes too long to do, in their minds at least. And so you can use that to your advantage by pursuing those opportunities, by doing what most people aren't willing to do, and inevitably that'll result in your success long term. That's what Layla said. She also said that she's seen people who, purchase all these courses, try these side hustles and sell different things, and only end up, fizzling out a couple years later with nothing to show, because whatever they were pursuing was something that had a high, they climbed it, and it peaked and then crashed. So that's basically the point she tries to make, that you should pursue long-term opportunities, that you should make decisions for the long term, and that's why side hustles aren't a good idea, because they're only designed to succeed in the short term. They're only designed to help you right now, in the next couple months or 1 year or whatever it may be, and it's not a great idea. You're better off just at least in my opinion, you're better off just getting a high-paying job that has potential for uncapped income, or at least growth potential to a certain extent, something in remote sales, or remote software engineering, or data analytics, or whatever it may be, right? Like any kind of remote job where you have location independence and you have the potential to make lots of money, you're probably better off doing that than pursuing some kind of stupid side hustle. And while you're working your job, you can simultaneously work on building up a business that you want to pursue full time eventually. And you can tell yourself that, okay, once I'm making X amount of money consistently for my business, then I'll quit my job and go into my business full time. Because the way I see it, the only reason you should build a business in the first place is, of course, one, to grow and make a shit ton of money and have a positive impact on people, but two, you also want to be able to exit. You want to be able to remove yourself from that business. You don't want to be. I don't know anyone who wants to be like a CEO and work 80 to 100 hour work weeks just for fun, right? Although some people are like that, most people do not want to do that. Most people want to have an asset that continues to generate them semi-passive income. Of course, in the True passive income doesn't exist. You're going to need to maintain pretty much every income stream that you have. But you can do it in a way where you're not directly trading your time for money. You could be indirectly trading your time for money, and the way you accomplish that is by outsourcing. It's by using forms of permissionless leverage like code and media. It's by getting other people to do your stuff, or using different forms of technology to do your stuff to free up more of your time. And so you want to build a business that you can eventually sell, that you can eventually completely automate, at least to a large extent. Like, you want to be able to remove yourself from that business. The problem with most of these side hustles is that you can't actually do that, right? And even if you can, do that, the margins on some of them are pretty shitty, like drop shipping, for example, right? That whole thing, I think, is just a scam, to be honest. Of course, I won't. Okay, I'm not gonna call it a scam. You know what? Frankly, because I don't understand it entirely, so I don't think I have the right to call it a scam, because I've never tried it before. I did, consider trying it seriously, and came up with this whole business plan and everything, and pitched my dad on it to see if he could give me some money, but that didn't work out. So I won't call it a scam simply because I don't understand it. But the way I see it, right, like, it has really bad margins, and of course it does have one thing that it beats pretty much every other business model in, is that it has the potential for infinite scale, because you can just get more customers by increasing your ad spend, or by increasing the price of your product, and that's basically it. For something like a service-based business, like the agency model, the SMMA model, which is really picking up right now, you have to do a lot of work in order to get clients. Of course, everyone's going to experience churn, which means that client is not going to stay with you forever, which means it's a constant cycle of you getting more and more and more clients. Of course, every business has its advantages and disadvantages, but another thing that I learned from both Layla and Alex Hormozi was that, if you can get people to pay you for the work you did long after you did it, then you're well on your way to making a lot of money. Alex gave an example of how if every single person he ever worked with through Gymshark continued paying, had still been paying him, right? Like, from day one, if every single person he signed was still paying him till this day, he'd have $1 billion company. He'd be a billionaire. That's the importance of that. I got sidetracked a lot in this video, but hopefully you got some value out of that, and maybe now you have the clarity that maybe pursuing a side hustle and working for the short term isn't the greatest idea. Maybe I should pursue something that's more sustainable long term. And if you don't know where to start, I'd suggest you start by just building an audience online, building a personal brand. You can do it without showing your face the way I am through this channel, or you can do it by showing your face, like whatever you want to do based on whatever your goals are. But having a personal brand, building an audience, it's by far one of the most sustainable things that you can possibly do, because now you're establishing your credibility through the internet by garnering a following. Customers come to you. People come to you with opportunities, right? And a brand is something that lasts a lifetime, right? It's connected to you. It's something that no one can take away from you either. The only person who can ruin your brand is yourself, if you ruin your personal reputation by doing something stupid. But otherwise, you're in complete control of it. You are your own niche, because you are your own differentiating factor. You can't be replaced by another person, right? Every other part of your business can be replaced, like your marketing strategy, the design of your funnel, like your ad spend, like anything can be replaced, right? The way you design your thumbnails, the way you edit your videos, all of that can be replicated. But the one thing that can't be replicated is you, which is why starting a personal brand is so advantageous. And so if you want to build something for the long term, something that's really sustainable, you're probably not going to see results for the first year, 2 years, 3 years, heck, even 5 years, right? There are people on YouTube who got no views for 5 years, but they still uploaded videos every single day or every single week, whatever their frequency was. And now they're doing well. After 5 years. Okay, so it takes a long time, right? So far on my main channel, I've uploaded over 100 videos, and I think on this channel I'm over 60 videos right now, and in total I have 9 subscribers. Okay. And so that is not a lot. That is very, very few. But I'm grateful for anyone who has subscribed. But the point is, don't expect to see results overnight. It's probably not going to happen. Just stay consistent. Focus on the long term, And as Alex and Layla say, successful people become that way by doing the boring work for an inordinate period of time. In the case of a personal brand, the boring work doesn't actually have to be. It doesn't actually have to be boring work. That's just what they call it. The work that you need to do for a long period of time in order to reach success is to just consistently produce content. That's basically it. Produce good content that people want to consume and provide value to them. Do that over a long enough period of time, and you will inevitably succeed. There's no getting around that fact. And so, if you're young and you don't have any particular skills, either no high income skills yet, then this is another great. This is basically your best option, right? Of course, if you need quick money, you need money really fast, go get a job. Or go develop some kind of skill, spend a couple months doing it, and start freelancing. Obviously, it's easier said than done. But if you want to build something for the long term, something that's going to last, you want to build a one-person creator business because it's by far the most sustainable. And the way the world is heading, given that attention is the new currency, if you can capture and monetize attention, you will make a lot of money. So those are basically just my thoughts on it. That's my reasoning behind why I started. One of the reasons why I started this brand, because I know it's going to be sustainable long term, that it's going to last me a lifetime. I'm going to make it last a lifetime. A lifetime of me providing value to you guys. Anyways, that's all I've got for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.